Sari said. She gathered my hair, several degrees darker and duller than her own cascading honey-blonde waves, and piled it on top of my head to assess me, or to help me cool off. We have been waiting so patiently. Wow, here you are right in front of us. We're so happy you are here. You made the right choice in coming to us. Her forward contact threw me, but I willed myself to not recoil. She was too close, and I was probably a grubby, sweaty mess after slogging through the tour. Plus, Sari didn't know me. We had spoken on the phone twice, but I had been watching her throughout our brief tour to learn what I could about her, noting her beatific smile, the frictionless drape of her sundress against her thin golden legs as they hiked the unkempt paths, the scent of juniper and grapefruit left in her wake. I decided she was simply being friendly in the way of women who breeze through every day as though they are just arriving at a music festival. "What do you think of our little paradise?" asked Tiara. She was statuesque and olive-skinned, and like Sari, seemed unfazed by the violent heat. I estimated the ages of Sari and Dagmar, Atlas's vet and animal care expert, to be in their mid-30s, a handful of years older than me, at barely 28. But Tiara's age was hard to pinpoint, with her mellow voice, lean muscles, and exquisitely shaved head. "It's wild." I knew I should say something more, but that was the best I could muster, so my brain made me say it again. "So wild." At least Dagmar was drenched like me, her short blonde hair spiked with sweat. She described the assets of the monkey's enclosure. It was a massive structure that housed a tire swing, a small swimming pool, and an intricate climbing apparatus over a rock-strewn clearing where the macaques loped around on all fours like tawny bears or wild coyotes. Long tails flagged behind them like whips, only to be tucked safely under their bodies moments later when they squatted to confer with each other in pairs or groups. I would have thought the animals would squabble competitively over the food, but they worked in admirable harmony. They circled the piles of oysters and selected one or two at a time. Then they sorted through a crate of rocks for the sharpest ones to crack the shells and ran off to their spots using their underarms and mouths as backup pockets for their treasures. There, they crouched and got to work with their tools, slamming with determination, angling the shells as needed. They coaxed with their old man teeth. They slurped with probing tongues. "Watch how they each have their own style," Dagmar said. "They learn from each other. See Ghost, going with the two-handed drop smash, as opposed to curious Georgia O'Keeffe, the right-handed rapid-fire jackhammer. Henry throws his whole body into it with an overhead lift. He doesn't even use a stone. See how she knocks two oysters against each other, and then she eats whichever opens first." "Efficient." Cole Calhoun was rapt. The embroidered emblem on his company uniform broadcast sunshine monitoring directly at my eye level. I was never going to get him to go home. "They all have their ways, and they fine-tune them by studying others. You watch," Dagmar said. "We love their amazing hands, don't we?" Sari said. "We learn so much by watching them. You're going to adore the macaques, Jamie. Did you have to say goodbye to any animals before moving here? I hate that we have to ask guests not to bring pets, but it simply wouldn't work out." "No pets," I said. "I've never actually had one." Dagmar looked concerned. "Why not?" "I don't know," I said, turning my gaze to the macaques. "Never really been a pet person? I mean, I took care of the lobster tank at one of my waitressing jobs. And once, when I was a kid, I even found a dog in a parking lot. My mom wouldn't let me keep it because we were sort of broke at the time. And I've never been able to afford one myself either. But I'm sure I'll do fine with the monkeys." The women stared at me. Tiara smiled empathically. "Animal care